You too. Good luck to the runners.
How's it going, everybody? Yes, good luck to the runners indeed. So I have Overfiend here with me.
Hello.
Very familiar with him, I should hope, after he was just doing excellent commentary on the low percent ice run. So I believe all of our players are ready to go. And on our end, we are ready to go. So I believe we can just go ahead and start with the countdown here. All right, on go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. All right, how exciting is this? I'll kick it off our final race here. We've got some of the most excellent any percent runners that there is all racing together here, so this is pretty exciting.
Yep, Sweetnumb in your top left, Oatsngoats in your top right, and Zoasty on the bottom. Pretty much a taste of what you'll be expecting 2 months from now. Just only missing Behemoth, and he will, thanks to your support, definitely be there now. Barring unforeseen circumstances, he will have the means to go for sure.
I'm definitely really hyped for that. Finally get to see him in the flesh play in front of us. Will be really, really great.
The best VC player.
Oh yeah. Best player with run on angle down.
That too.
Yeah. So we saw Sweetnumb. Oh, Sweetnumb actually is getting hit by some steam on the platforms in series there. Oh, that's incredibly unfortunate. Sometimes those steams can just totally screw you over, and there's just absolutely nothing that you can do about that. It's really unfortunate there, but it's still only the first 2 minutes of this game. Still anything can happen here, so do not discount Sweetnumb yet. He is an excellent player. Can definitely bring this back.
I was about to say uncharacteristic series by Oats, but Sweetnumb eating a bit of steam.
Yeah.
I want to sneak in here for a moment. I got a donation from Morg Midgard, $25, saying big thanks to Stray for putting in the time to make this happen. Good luck to all the runners in the finale on your fast patterns. Thank you, Morg Midgard.
Thank you for that.
Yes, thank you. Probably jinxed the RNG for them now, but we appreciate the optimism. We're going to be seeing attempts at 2 rounds from these players, and hopefully Phantoon is going to be giving us some good RNG. As if you have been here for the entirety of the marathon, or if you're familiar with Super Metroid and the boss Phantoon, he's a large element of RNG. Fast patterns being somewhat rare, and getting multiple of them in a row even more rare. So hopefully we see that from these players. I believe getting 2 fast patterns in a row is somewhere around 6.25%. Or do you know the exact on that, or?
I actually don't really know much about Phantoon percentages.
Okay, I think it's somewhere. I think it's somewhere around there. So not very common to get that.
Yeah, it's definitely uncommon for sure. That's all I can really say.
Yeah, and even if you do get those patterns, getting a 2-round in on Phantoon with the Dopplering method that you'll see these players doing is even more difficult. Phantoon has 2,500 health, and so during each round, you can pretty much get a free 4 missiles in on Phantoon. After that, you pretty much have to be Dopplering the missiles in. Basically, you're having missiles hit him at a smaller and smaller interval between them as you hit him with the missiles. And so in order to kill him in 2 rounds, you need to be able to, after those initial 4, hit him with 5 and then 6, or some combination to get to 11. Because you got to hit him with 19 missiles before you shoot him with a super missile, which will deal the final 600 damage.
Great pit room by Sweet, by the way. Damage
Yeah.
boost strat pulled off efficiently.
Yeah, that damage boost strat is not easy.
Into what people perhaps most recognize him for in those wall jumps he has,
Yep.
are his own.
His machine gun wall jumps, 20 wall jumps per second. Ridiculous.
I just want to mention that basically how Phantoon works, like Wild was saying, was you get two and then two more, like 4 free ones in the opening, and then you basically have to doppel 6 more shots. In the first round, you ideally want to get 6 missiles in as a doppel, and then the second round 5 and a super. And he gives you limited space with which to do that, so at some point during your doppel, you have to sort of stutter your movement and be able to still hit him with those projectiles at the same time in order to fit all those in.
Yeah. Yeah, so, like, stuttering, obviously, you're going to be utilizing the small amount of space by moving more slowly, covering less ground. Some players actually opt to do air doppling, which I think, in my opinion, is a lot easier than doppling on the ground, because with air doppling, you move at a constant speed, where you can pretty much, as long as you're getting your missile timing right, you're gonna get in like as many missiles as you can until you stop firing or run out of them. So pretty much with that, you just jump in the air and move forward. There's only a few patterns where that actually works with. And additionally, it does actually save a little bit of time as well if it's a pattern where normally Phantoon flies off screen.
Yeah, we got Zoasty right now with about a 4-second lead over Oats, and Sweet not too far behind. As you might expect between runners of this level, they're all quite close to each other, even 6 minutes in.
Yep, these players are all super consistent as well. Like, not only are they just really excellent with their execution, but they are super consistent. So everything that they do, even the really difficult stuff, the majority of the time they're going to be just nailing it. Which makes them such excellent top-tier players.
Yeah, I know leading up to this, Zoast recently had a stream where it seemed like every run he had up to statues was on mid-42 pace. Like, it was pretty indicative of what we might be seeing at SGDQ.
Yeah, we've been seeing a lot of casual 42s coming out of him lately. So Zoast not getting to drop from this Rio, a little bit unfortunate. Oats getting missiles, which is pretty good. Sweetnumb not getting anything either. So that's really unfortunate. Having those 2 extra missiles there, though, can be really helpful for the Phantoon fight, especially if he is giving you fast patterns. It can be difficult to get your missiles back to enough where you actually have enough to kill him. Because if you get a fast pattern, he's not dropping a bunch of flames. So if you're getting bad drops from the flames, it could be difficult to get the ammo that you need.
Yeah, there's many cases where people would actually prefer a fast mid or even a mid simply because you have a lot more potential missile drops. If you get a fast and you're not entering or being given proper ammo from the flames, you may not have a realistic shot at all at 2 rounding just off that. So it's kind of like you have to consider all the pros and cons.
Exactly. And then sometimes the cons of the slow patterns are he's got a bunch of flames on the ground as well, and those can be difficult to deal with. Like, working with the pattern as well as trying to dodge around the flames. Or just shoot them and get them out of the way. They could eat a missile on accident, or just get in your way.
Yeah, slows are the worst, not only because of time, obviously, but they consistently have flames dropped, and the positioning is such that they're the most difficult to actually snipe the 8 flames that spawn from Phantoon's eye and then hit him before he disappears.
So we're seeing all these players heading up Red Tower here, about to enter the moat, where the infamous CWJ claims many a runner. So I'm not sure. I can't entirely speak for all of these players here. I'm not sure their own personal methods. I know some players opt to just go for the double bomb jump method over there. But it looks like Zoast attempted, at least at the first time, to go for the CWJ, as well as Oats. Both of them, neither of them making the first jump. So we're going to see Sweetnumb here gets the first jump.
Right.
So we'll see if he does nail that. Zoast getting the double bomb jump over there easily. First try. Oats having a little bit of trouble with Sweetnumb nailing that CWJ. And just like that, the leads have totally changed. Oatsngoats trying to line himself up here within the door.
He's got it.
He got
And,
it. There
yeah.
he goes. Yep.
So Zoast maintaining his lead, but now it seems that Sweet and Oats have sort of changed position.
Yeah. Sweetnumb did make up a little bit of time on Zoast, though, since Zoast did end up missing the CWJ at first, where Sweetnumb did get it first try. But Oats with a really good recovery of a first try double bomb jump. And Sweetnumb whiffing a missile there, not really a huge problem. If he does end up not being full on supers after this fight, though, it might be...
One
might
minor
not be the
thing.
biggest deal.
One minor thing as well that may or may not come into play is that Sweet also is down a power bomb, so he's going to be relying on Phantoon to at least give him 2 from his drops for rooms later.
Yeah, definitely, especially for the attic. So it looks like we're seeing slows coming out for both Sweetnumb and Zoast. Not
Slow for Oats as well.
Yeah. Not getting very many missiles in there for Sweetnumb. Looked like Oats did get quite a few.
I think it's slow for everybody so far, unless Oats gets a mid here.
Wow, it is, definitely. Yeah. That mid is very, very common. So Oats with an excellent 2 round, as well as Zoast.
Zoast with slow 2 round, Oats with slow mid, I believe, and I think this might be Sweet's 3rd round.
Third slow, yep. Really unfortunate. But again, that is the nature of Phantoon. Oh, and missing that super missile. Oh man. Phantoon is within supering range. Once if you are missing your count, for whatever reason, if you miscount, you can always tell when Phantoon is within supering range. When he turns that really bright red. What I mean by supering range is that you can kill him with a super instantly without him going into his flame swooping rage attack where he's invincible and just wastes a bunch of time. All right, so Sweetnumb did get some power bombs there. He is a little bit short as far as in comparison to the other players, but I mean 2 is really all that you need right now. You can grab some extras on the way down Red Tower if he really just decide to do that.
Zoast so far has been the best off in terms of both time and his inventory. We noticed that it's now Zoast followed by Oats, where it was Zoast followed by Sweet after Moat, and before the Moat is actually Zoast followed by Oats. So Oats and Sweet having a bit of a back and forth, it seems, with Zoast just maintaining his lead, if not, expanding it even further.
Again, and like I was saying, the reason for that is just the consistency of these players is really, really, really high. Zoast is especially showcasing that right now. Both Zoast and Oats getting through bowling, no problem there. So you see him doing just very, very minor optimizations there, doing those tiny little D-boosts where they're not really getting off the ground at all, and you would say, well, that doesn't really seem like it's doing very much, but actually, so Sweetnumb here looking like he's going to end up with pretty low health when he gets through bowling, but those little D-boosts actually allow you to jump from the spikes right into bowling's hands, the Bowling Chorizo's hands. As you just saw Sweet do there. If you don't do those D-boosts, you can't quite make it into the hands. So really small optimization there. However, if you mess up the D-boosts, it is very, very easy for you to die. I believe those deboosts are 2 frames each to get the ones where you are really close to the ground. Deboosts have 4 frames where you can do them when deboosting off of enemies. I know Spikes is different.
Yeah, spikes are 10 frame window, and according to ED, enemies are 5. And
Oh,
I believe
okay.
you're correct that it's the first 2 frames you take damage from those that you basically just hold jump the entire time for the boost and do just a very quick left right to do those boosts.
Yeah. Otherwise, if you take too long, you're actually going to gain height, which is wasting your very, very precious invulnerability frames. And so they might run out by the time you need to do another jump, and then you might actually end up dying, which would be really unfortunate there.
Sweetnumb is he's behind not only on time but supers and PBs as well. So hope he can make up for him being behind in these ways.
So what he can do, I don't know if he's going to. I'm pretty sure these Zoast and Oats here skip farming the cack attacks. What Sweetnumb can do here is he can farm these cack attacks to get an extra 2 super missiles if he wants. Additionally, yes, looks like he's going to do that. Additionally, there is a B-Tom, one of those little jumpy frog guys in Red Tower. So we might see him farm that for an extra power bomb. He does have 1 power bomb though, so he could he does want 2 at this point, so he can optimally, there he goes, killing that. So he can break the Meridia Tube and also do the faster strat exiting high jump boots. And then what he's going to need to do is, there's a Tuskegee on the way to Norfair. During the first area, that would normally be a hell run if you didn't have suits. I don't really know a better way to describe that room.
I usually call it the entrance to the cathedral, because the room after is called cathedral. I just usually say cathedral entrance when I think of it.
Okay, that's a good way to describe it. Yeah, there's a Tuskegee there who he'll make sure to get a power bomb from. And so Zoast and Oats, only like 1 room separates these 2 players. They're going to be within 1 item fanfare of each other. So very, very close. Sweetnumb looking like he's trailing by about 20 seconds here from Oats, but again, like that can totally change, especially in the next about 10 minutes of the run here. Lower Norfair is very, 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 very dangerous. Lots of things can go wrong, but also lots of things can go right as well, making the run go very well or very poorly for another player.
Yeah, it's mostly determined by, I believe, Steel Pirates. Not only do you execute them properly, but do they drop you supers, which are so valuable on Ridley. They basically save 2 seconds each, and so you just want as many as you can have going into that fight. And Ridley himself, too, is just like, can make or break many paces.
I mean, 2 seconds is even being generous there, because I mean that's assuming these players are getting perfectly charged shots on Ridley. It's exactly 60 frames each, so it's definitely supers are even more valuable. Pretty much invaluable on the Ridley fight, as super missiles do double damage to Ridley, 600 as opposed to their normal 300, and the charged Ice Wave Spazer only does 300 damage as well. But you will be also seeing in the opener of this Ridley fight, you'll be seeing these players going for X Factor strats. I don't know how many of them will be going for 3 X Factors. Getting 3 X Factors in there can be pretty tricky.
I know that I think either Oats or Zoast, maybe both, have actually started going for 4. So I think they will just go for as many as they can get in, because basically the first saves like 3 to 4 seconds, and then remaining ones save like a second each.
Yeah, so the reason for that is each X Factor particle does 300 damage, and like I said, the charged Ice Wave Spazer shot does 300 damage as well. So that's 1200 damage total. But and the special beam attack only activates after 120 frames of fully holding your charge beam. So 60 to get it fully charged, and then another 60 for it to actually activate. And then after that, it does take a couple of frames for the X Factor particles to connect, so that's why it only saves, each one after the first one only saves approximately 1 second. But, you know, it is saving time. So, and it, again, as many as many X Factors as they do is dependent on how many power bombs they are able to get. There are some pretty good power bomb farming strats on the way to Ridley, so...
Speaking of farming, I think Oats made it through the speed booster while farming with only 2 rounds. Each of those rounds of bugs takes about 2 seconds each, so players really like to get out of there if they can in as few as possible.
Yeah, exactly, because it just takes so much time. So we do see actually a difference, a very, very slight difference here. Zoast opting to skip the wave missiles there. Just jumping right on over those. Oatsngoats grabbing them. I'm not sure whether or not Sweetnumb is going to go. It is just a little bit of a safety to grab them. It helps them a little bit later with drops in Turian, not having to worry so much. But 15 and 10 really, really requires you to get some excellent drops from the Metroids. So it looks like Zoast is the only one of our racers here to opt to only go 15 and 10. Saving about the 6.5 seconds from the item fanfare.
Yeah, so far the pace is definitely reflecting that.
Yep. Going for Lava Spark here and nailing that. Easy peasy. Here comes Oats.
Just want to point out that the reason why you saw the sort of diagonal animation instead of the straight vertical there from Zoast is because if you think you're too far left, sparking diagonally or with R actually will shift you about 4 to 5 pixels to the right compared to a vertical spark, which is just straight up. But that has to do with like lava physics. So he basically thought he might have been too far to the left and did that as a safety.
Yeah, because you only have 2 blocks wide of a gap to actually activate your spark. Should you spark vertically to make it up there? It is a very tight spark, and not only that, your frame window is running very, very low by the time you actually need to activate the spark. So it can be, it's a pretty tight trick. Saves quite a bit of health though over the alternative. And so what you did see, I believe you saw it from Oats, and I know you saw it from Zoast. I did catch it there. As they went down the elevator, before they hit the elevator, they pressed the pause screen. So the pause screen activated when they were going down the elevator, and they disselected Ice Beam and Spazer. So they just have Wave. But the reason why they did it going down the elevator is when you, for whatever reason, when you're going down an elevator and your pause screen, and you leave a pause screen, you actually hit the elevator transition right as Samus's like the elevator platform reaches the bottom of the screen instead of Samus going all the way off screen, saving about like 45 frames.
Yeah, it's 48 or 0.8 seconds exact, and it's kind of weird because you actually go through those transition blocks when the game scrolls you off screen, but in this case, it actually just transitions you as soon as you touch them if you pause before going down the elevator.
Yeah, that is really interesting. Yeah, and then you see it a second time when they re-equip. Well, you'll see them paused after the X Factors to re-equip the 2 other beams for more damage on Ridley, and then you'll see them take them off again for Meridia since they need to do more X Factoring. But then you'll see them re-equip the beams again for Turian since they need ice, and you'll see that again on the Turian elevator.
I just want to point out, Zoast going in with 10 supers and 4 power bombs and over 200 health, and Oats going in with presumably similar counts. These are going to be hopefully ideal fights if Ridley cooperates for both of these players. Incredible
ammo count from Zoast. So he's only going for 3 X Factors there. We're going to see, so then yeah, so he does equip his beams there as well. So now we're going to see Oats. Sweetnumb cleaning up Metal Pirates really well here. Looking like he's getting a good amount of supers. Oh, there he goes. Full
I know, all these players getting great counts, I gotta say.
Oh, I don't know if Oats accidentally let his charge off too early on that last one, or if he just decided Ridley wasn't in a correct position to get that X Factor, but he did release it a little bit early. He could have realized that it wasn't going to connect, and that was in that case it was a good call on his part. Because as long as there's an X Factor particle on the screen, you cannot shoot. You can't do anything really. You can't shoot. You can't your beam or shoot any ammo. So that's a huge hindrance here, you know, into your time until those X Factor particles disappear. And Zoast cleaning up Ridley, really nice fight there. And so what these players do once they see Ridley change color to that dull red, they know that he requires 30 charge shots to kill, having only 9,000 health left. Oh, Oats missing a super missile. That's rough. That's another 600 damage, so he does finish off with another 6 missiles there. But they count. They know how many supers they need, and so you can essentially, the way I do the math is I just double my super count, and then I subtract that number from 30, and I know how many charge Ice Wave Spazer shots I need to do, plus the ammunition that I have from the supers in order to kill him.
Zoast just seems to be, from when I glance over at his screen, he just seems to be beasting it in this lower warfare so far.
Definitely, yeah, definitely. So all players getting through Ridley, no problem. Zoast has excellent health right now. One of those key hunters hitting him, but that's fine. He's got plenty of health to make it out of here. But we do see all these players opting to skip the Ridley tank. It is faster to get the Phantoon energy tank as your third energy tank.
Sweetnumb with some considerably lower health than the other two had exiting. I hope he can remain safe throughout.
Yeah, this is going to be scary. He knows his opponents. He knows he needs to be at the top of his game. So, all right, we see Zoast making through the Three Musketeers. Excellent.
Yeah, he does
there.
a nip on the first one, actually. He, like, morphs over it so that he can actually jump over the second, and the third will swoop to the right, so the third is clear after he jumps over the second. So he takes no damage from them.
And ball boost there. Just to... And I believe Oats just supered one of those Namahes.
Probably for energy, because he can only afford to take one hit because of acid here.
Right. So Oats doing the manipulation as well. And getting through. Oh, looks like... Oh, Sweetnumb died!
Yeah. His health is just so low, leaving Ridley.
Yeah, that is really unfortunate. I apologize. I did miss where that had happened. I mean that
Key Hunter staircase.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they can be really awful. You can even do the correct, you know, bomb the blocks and get good positioning on them, and still they can screw you over. Really unfortunate. But you know, let's keep in mind, like, how excellent Sweetnumb was playing. Like, he was, you know, playing really well. You know, and just because he died does not mean he's not as good a player as these other two. He's definitely a top contender. And these things happen. Like, Super Metroid is a very brutal game, and it can be really rough.
Everybody's come to expect this, honestly, with this route.
Yeah. You just have to accept it as part of what's going to happen. You know, the route is really hard. I got textbook Kraid quick kill there from Zoast.
Wow, I think he just got 6 supers from Kraid.
Did he?
I think so. I saw 3 and then I saw 9. So
that is incredible. That is really incredible. That is going to set him up really nicely for Meridia. Getting a high amount of super missiles and power bombs here from Kraid is incredibly good. It's one of the reasons why Kraid is done after Ridley instead of before. The other reason being that you have Speed Booster that can get you through these rooms faster as well. But getting the drops to reduce the amount of farming that you have to do.
Oats would have almost had the same, but he left 2 hanging there in the air. But he'll still be okay because of Mini Kraid. Mini Kraid's like guaranteed 4. But yeah.
So it pretty much guaranteed for. Yeah, that's a the key word. Pretty much. There is a very, very small chance that he can give you a health drop, which actually did happen to me in the 100% race at the beginning of the marathon. But yeah, he should be getting 4 here. He's gonna opt to kill him with missiles so he can have full supers.
I think the only concern for Zoast, really, assuming his execution remains on point, is power bombs. Oats is the advantage in that regard, if not, since he doesn't have the advantage on time, unfortunately for him.
Yeah, so this is... So what to note about that, we're going to see the X Factor strat come out here on Phantoon for a 1 round with Zoast. I definitely think the power bomb is much more valuable in the Phantoon fight than it is in the Dragon fight. Dragon can still be 2-rounded with really good Shine Sparks without the extra X Factor damage, but it is going to make it a little bit more difficult for Zoast. But he does end up getting a power bomb drop from Phantoon, so he is going to be able to do that. Also getting another power bomb from the little slimy guy.
The Poyos.
Yes. I'm still trying to learn all the names, but it sounds like we do have some donations here. So get Goop in here for reading some donations for us. We see Zoast getting Oceanfly there, and Oats with a great Phantoon. So Goop, go ahead. Let's hear some of those donations.
All right, we got a $1 donation by Migosp saying 24 hours, you guys must be tired. Thanks for the stream. It's going good so far. Thanks for the $1. And another $5 donation by 0xFF42. That was from earlier. 1,595 makes my OCD for numbers kick in. People should donate in multiples of 10 instead. Kappa.
So Oats only getting the halfie. Now, this is a detriment of time, obviously, but in my opinion for this route, it's actually perhaps less of a negative than old, and the reason I say it is because health is, in my opinion, significantly more important on Dragon than old route. It comes into play a lot more.
Yeah, it can be a blessing in disguise, especially for this Dragon fight. Because, you know, if your health drops too low, if your Shine Sparks aren't the best, your health can drop pretty low when you're trying to Shine Spark through Dragon. So we do see Zoast. He does want to grab those. He did want to grab those drops, so he did opt for a damage boost to go through those, and then a gravity jump instead of a bomb jump to get up to the door. So you did see him just opt to put the beams back on now instead of it during Durian. But both of them, Oats and Zoast, getting nice blue suits. So we see Oats going for some.
He gets it.
Going for some flash shoot shenanigans here, getting flash shoot. So he is actually going to be saving some time here over Zoast, because Zoast was unable to run with the blue suit, but Oats, however, will be able to run. He does have a free spark, or flash shoot as some people like to call it, so he can run as long as he's not pressing up or breaking his spin with up or anything while he's jumping. He will not activate that, and there he goes. So excellent time saver there. Very difficult.
Credit to Eternize for finding that in June of last year. Basically, like, if you are morphed in with a Shine Spark and you unmorph on the first or second frame, you take damage from a spike or something similar to spikes, in this case electricity, there will be roughly 9 frames later a frame in which, if you activate the Shine Spark, you'll hover in air like that, and it will gift you with a Shine Spark suit after you spark out of that position. That's the gist of how that works. It's basically a backup to blue suit in this fight that Oats pulled off because his health was not good enough to use blue suit and skip the drops. Because he wanted the drops, he picked that up so that he could run with the suit. That's the main reason why he did that. You can't run with blue suit, so yeah. seconds.
Yep, and in addition, yeah, it does save time as well because you are able to run. But you know, yeah, and since both players opted to pick up the drops, it was pretty. We did see a little bit faster from Oats there. So actually, Zoast having a little bit of trouble with that jump in Mount Doom, being just ending up a little bit short, so falling there. So in order to back up, he had to take a little bit of time there. So Oats hot on his trail now.
Yeah, I think Oats is maybe 20 seconds behind at this point, but he does. I was gonna say he has the super missile advantage, but okay, he still kind of does. But Zoast has a health advantage, so we may see Oats go for not grouping in room 1 simply because the threat of dying to latched Metroids may be too high with this sort of health.
Yeah. Which is really unfortunate with his ammo count right now. I'm sure he would really love to group, but... So he is just hoping, got his fingers crossed for really, really good Metroid drops on the individual Metroids. Yeah, so Oats did go for 2010, and Zoast went for 1510, so that is another thing to mention here. So Zoast is requiring better drops here, or he's a little more pressed for drops. His ammo count needs to be better at the end than Oats's does. However, the drops are still plays a major factor for both of these players.
Shada pointing out that apparently Zoast was about 20 seconds ahead, but Oats also has to pause. That's like another 3 to 4.
Ooh, only getting 1 super missile from the first room, even with the grouping strats. That is, and 2 supers it looks like from room 2. So Zoast
need a room 3 bailout.
All right, uses missiles and gets another 2 supers. He's 15 and 5. He needs 5 super missiles. Oats actually getting some pretty good ending up.
He may
even.
opt to just farm these 2. Yep, that's what he's gonna do. So if you farm these 2, I think he considered actually just killing that last Metroid because he got so many from that strat where if you kill the first 2 and reload the room, it actually spawns them all back again. So it does eat a bit of time, but he's obviously it's paying off.
Yeah, so he does get good drops there, going for a D boost from the Rinka, which only does 10 damage, through these side hoppers, which are going to do 30. Oatsngoats not getting full health. So, interestingly, if he misses the skip here, he is going to have 13 health if he to get through the Mother Brain fight. If he does the 0 damage Zebetite skip, if he takes damage from the Rinka's going to do 10. He's going to be left with 3 health here for the Mother Brain fight. So that's going to be really scary. But Zoast here with an excellent 5 jump.
Oats may opt to take the refill if he gets this, though, because getting the skip and taking the refill does still save like a dozen seconds. Like, the cutscene is just that long. But we'll have to see, because more than likely he's going to be facing Mother Brain 2 with 303 if I have to assume that he gets hit by a Rinka or something along those lines, doing Zeb skip or something. Yep,
so it looks like he's going for it. So if he gets hit by anything, that will be GG. So there is the only one way that he can avoid damage is he can hit the very center of a okay, so it looks like he got invulnerability from a bullet, which only did 5 damage. So I mean, still, regardless, 1 hit from anything. Oh
yeah.
No!
Well, he felt he had to risk it, being as far behind as he was, so I don't blame him.
Risked it for the biscuit, man, and it almost paid off. Oh, so unfortunate. Right there, that Rinka. Just imagine a big old troll face right on that Rinka coming up behind him.
That's technically not over, but if Zoast just has to survive this, and yeah.
He's got to survive it. He can take some hits from other brains. A lot of these attacks do 20 or 40 damage.
If Zoast just has to survive this,
onion rings
and-
will chain.
Yeah.
So he got to be careful with those. But the bomb, he can take a hit from.
He's got to survive it. He
if
can
really
take
needs to obviously
some
catch up.
hits
Not
from other
being
brains.
so
A lot of these
devastating as
attacks
it
do
is.
20 or 40 damage.
If Zoast just
and
has
so
to
this
survive
fight, onion rings
and-
will
firing
chain
60
charge shots.
So
he got to be careful with those.
but
45,
the
he can
until
take a hit
he's
from
gotta
catch-up
survive it.
phase.
He
So you
can
did see
take
right there. I was
some
getting to
hits
talking about
from
that.
other brains.
If
A lot of
you
these attacks
get hit by the very
do
center of the
20
bomb
damage,
explosion, it doesn't actually do
Zoast
any
has
fight.
to
Onion
survive
rings
the
will
way
iron
that
rounds.
60
charge shots.
Zoast-
It's
45,
that was a
he
very,
can
very
take
very
from
close. So you did
catch
see
phase.
right
Saw
there.
that
I
reaction
was
that PB
getting to
select.
talking about. Mm-hmm.
But if he dodges one more, actually he might be, yeah, the bomb, for example, she can't fire red until the bomb explodes, and she fires it immediately when it explodes, so that one was really safe.
Yeah, it's really nice as far as safety goes. Can give you a little bit of comfort. As long as there's another attack on the screen, Mother Brain can't do her catch-up attack. So especially when there's a bomb that lasts a really, really long time, you can time it so that it's very, very easy to dodge. You know exactly when the bomb is going to explode, so you know when that ketchup is going to be coming out at you.
So this looks to be about a 43 1x from Zoast, somewhere around there.
Very excellent time. So we've been talking a lot about nerves and whatnot, you know, in these races, playing for so many people. But Zoast is one of those players who's been to many GDQs, has done a lot of marathons and stuff, you know, and has been, you know, very, at least from the outside looking, you know, very calm and composed, you know, in these situations, you know, and he just always plays really, really well under those conditions where some other players might be crippled by the anxiety from playing in front of such a large, excellent audience, such as all of you. All 972 of you. Wowee. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming by. You know, could not have done this without all of you. And again, we really appreciate all of your generosity, raising all of the money that you have to bring Behemoth to SGDQ. So I certainly hope that all of you will be watching SGDQ in about 2 months. You know, and watching, I believe Zero Metroid is scheduled as normal to be at the end of the marathon. So it'll be on the 9th.
That's correct.
July. Yeah, 9th of July. At the very end of the marathon, you'll be seeing these three players plus Behemoth in an excellent, excellent race. So definitely make sure to watch that so you can see what you supported to make happen. There's a request for Zoast audio.
I'm not sure who's in charge of that. Stray's defense, so
I believe it's Total.
oh, he's in setup.
I'll just Nick flash him and see. So hopefully we can get that. So again, escape, very, very standard. Killing pirates to get out of your way also reduces a little bit of lag. There's quite a few pirates in these escape rooms, along with, you know, all these explosions and whatnot. Going for a Behemoth Spark there. Making it all the way up. With that diagonal spark, you can clip through the top platform as well, and shine spark earlier than you would by just going flush with the wall and doing a vertical spark. So it's a minor frame saver there. But GG, there he goes. Zoast finishing up with a time of, I don't know what it is because I don't have the timer in front of me.
43, 10 or 11 maybe. I'm waiting for the stream to pick up.
Yeah, it looks like 43:12 there, or yeah, 43:10. Or I think actually the timer might have been a little late, but yeah. So excellent job from Zoast and from our other two players as well. You know, again, like they are the top, the best of the best. all three of them. And so again, you will be seeing them all race side by side with the legendary Behemoth during SGDQ. And so I think I am going to hand it on over to Stravaris for our wrap up here.
Yeah, I appreciate these racers definitely trying to keep pace with Zoast during this, even if it, almost spelled certain death, and obviously in certain cases it did. But they definitely played how they felt they should in order to keep the pace, and just,
It is a really, all these players, it's, always difficult. They're always, I think they're, just constantly pushing each other, and even if they're not doing it consciously, they know the skill levels of every other player, and they know what they have to do in order to keep up with the other players. So, again, excellent race from all of them. We thank them all for their time. So I'd like to hand it on over to Goop and Stravaris. Goop with some more donations, and Stravaris to wrap this up. So thank you so much for having me for this last wonderful hype race. I am Wild Anaconda 69. My commentating partner here, Overfiend VIP. Thank you for joining me here. And we will see you guys next mission.
Thanks, Wild. Thanks, all.
Thanks, Overfiend, and thanks, Wild. What an exciting race. So we got 2 more donations I'm going to read shortly here. We got $5 from JRP saying, let's just say everything in one. Go Elm, Pepsi's better, save the animals, Stravaris wins fusion. I want cats in chat. There we go, have fun. Thanks JRP for the $5. And Eves the Great with $10. If Behemoth can slay cancer, no one can. I hope you're right. Eves the Great, thank you for $10. And with these words, I hand it over to Stravaris.
Thank you, Goop. All I just have to say, thank you, everyone, for your support. I've got a lot of shout-outs to give here. I might as well just go through them, but for the thanks just for this runner, for Oats, Sweet, and Zoast to finish off this marathon with such a hype run. This is Super Metroid. Deaths are a reality in the game, but hey, it was still a great race to watch. Congrats to Zoast for finishing. We'll see this race again at SGDQ, plus one more with Behemoth. Thanks to you guys. Dear Force. So let me do some of my shoutouts here, because I've got quite a few to go through. For the Ludende stream for letting us host this event on their stream. Very, very nice of them to give us that venue to use. An immense thank you and shout out to Total for all this technical support, the other RTMP server that he helped host for the European runners. A lot of the behind the scenes work that he was doing, and he never really got any FaceTime during the marathon. Just make sure to give him a round of applause, a whole bunch of clappers in chat for him, because a lot of this wouldn't have happened without him. For Total, for Total, Wild, Goop, they all helped me run this marathon for the last 24 hours. I could not have done this any stretch of my imagination alone. It would not have been possible, or I would have been a ravenous zombie by now. I appreciate all their help and helping me do this. And a couple others who went and helping organize, not to mention Balthazar, Mishrak, and again, the same individuals, people I had when we were going through, working on the schedule, looking for people's opinions, trying to address any issues that came up. They were there to help give advice, organize some things. It was all very helpful to me and to this marathon. Again, all the commentators and runners for this marathon. for some of our media, we had Goop, who made a lot of the graphics. The Casnode made our layouts for us. Goop took down the intermission music that you guys have been hearing. That's from Blake Robinson's Synthetic Orchestra. Goop pulled that down and made it one huge file for us so we could play it during intermission. Thank you again for all that. And thank you to you guys who made this possible, to all of you audience members. I appreciate it so much. This has been a great success. This went really better than I thought it was going to. I appreciate all your time and watching. We are done here, but Super Metroid's not done. We're going to forward you guys on to an excellent tasser who is debuting his 100% map completion task today. And we are going to host you and send you guys over there, and I want you to raid him with all the deer forces that you can muster. Again, guys, I appreciate all of the hard work that's gone into this marathon and the viewers' generosity to make this a reality. And thank you guys, and have a great night, and take it easy.